in the blink of an eye with 2 guards inside. To hear Carpenter knock down again. The demonic situation arises again. The lightning meets the inflammatory bar suddenly in the blink of an eye dissolves. Disappeared without a trace. See this scene. Probably the most amazing eyes. This inflammatory bar can actually fight the dreaded lightning. I can't help but think of the mysterious man before me. Inflammatory bars are constantly speculating. Maybe that person wants to get into the trap. And maybe there's something inside that person that wants to have. Like I can't get it myself. That's why I brought him here. Now is not the time to think about these things. Urgent task now. We have to leave this place quickly. What the hell is that person up to? Let's also continue to calculate later. This lightning is endless. But I don't know how long the inflammatory bars will last. We must quickly find the way out. The feeling of death is getting closer and closer. Most likely, the tongue twitches. The power of death is also getting stronger. Continue like this. Sooner or later it will become. But he hasn't finished thinking yet. Death is repeatedly struck down. The power this time. Once again make the most terrible. Scream death lightning 9 gravity. Probably take a deep breath. More urgently in my heart. This condition. Look, the inflammation is about to go away. If the screen is broken, the 2 of them will be reduced to ashes in a moment. This moment, most likely, he suddenly realized that it was because he was too proud. A little empress. That dare to despise the prohibition by the heavens. Right now, most likely I saw a small red light. Glimpsing in the sky full of death here. It's amazing what it is. I remember Long 9. Then he too was swept away by the storm. But in the end, it's boring. That is, the laws of God. It's not perfect. There's a gap. More, it wasn't even the hole he deliberately left behind. Someone has destroyed part of his strategy. So the fault is the clear red light. It is possible to enter the monument. I think this is the most likely reason to laugh. What is God? It's not that the strategy he set out is still being used. Pierced ha ha ha. I said I shook my neck 3 times in my heart. Screaming to wake him up. 3-year-old girl, wake up. It's your turn to get on the floor. Ancient 3 Pine vaguely wakes up. Slowly open your eyes and look the best. I saw him finally wake up. Most likely excited, pointing to the red spot. See that red? You have a right to it. Open up that hole. Is that we can get out. But right now she's got a little bit of fear. Still veiled ear aggressively shaking his head said. I can't. I'm scared of thunder. At this point, most people would smile and look at him softly. I'm scared too. But you're afraid of them and you're not afraid of death. Even if it means dying, risk it. No, we all have us. I will hold you in my arms. Even if we die first. I will not abandon you. So don't abandon yourself. I want to bite my lip and hope this works. This rotten boy is not. Because of himself. It's because he gave me a right. Otherwise, both of them would have to be buried. Dead in this place. The word just ended. Three Pine Neck suddenly stagnates in the heart. Suddenly there's warm water flowing through. The body a second ago was trembling with fear. This moment, he has returned to the appearance of the undefeated. But the universe is afraid. Look at the red. A strong grip on power. Screamed for an hour, and hit it down. A right just out. Kier read in a wide open glance. It turns into a small hole. Shoot out these strange red light pillars. That's where the light comes from. Immediately shot into the air. Most people are happy to see this scene right away. Touch her head again, three laughing. Good boy, very good job. Three Pine Neck also grinned softly. It's like a good child being praised. His eyes gave off a happy light. That's right, about an hour. Suddenly it hit the back the hardest. The blue flames that covered the outside trembled a few. Then also disappeared without seeing. Of the three thunderbolt views coming up, fear turns into a small form. Most likely protect him in the chest. Directly use yourself to pick up the drag down. You can't take a sip of fresh blood. His face in the twinkling of pale eyes. To confront the death toll of the lost. They are constantly attacked by a powerful force. He was almost exhausted. The body is weak now. I can see that 3 is not okay. Horrified, he hurriedly said. How are you? Most likely, hold him in your chest. Smile weakly said. No, I said as long as I live. I will hold you in my arms. I won't let you get in trouble. He just finished holding him in his arms. Let's lift our feet and fly towards the red light. 281 Relics of the Emperor. Just finished. Most definitely bite your teeth down in pain. Stomping foot flying hole Kier. Wait until you get inside. Slowly losing consciousness. But his hands still held the neck 3 Pine in his chest. He did not give up on doing as he promised. You to just like that. Along the light pole, a line towards the beginning of the infrared ray. Only the neck looks the most certain way. Pale face. Close your eyes. To red eyes worried. Another dimension. 5 people outside the mountain. The tears of heaven fly away. When you get to a safe place, stop. God's people try to use their senses. To seek the shadow of the most mortal. Same neck 3 Pine. Let him have 7 hopes for 1. He couldn't find it either. The color of his face dropped. The 4 demons here are a little worried. For the most sure. Pon discuss Devil Nimble speak up. Sure, the butler and the boy were beaten to death. Let the soul fly away. I can't find them anymore. Hoo Juo the butler is pitiful. Why do you have to die with the devil? Cowardly devil also a sad side. Heartbreak. To be honest, the butler has treated us very well. At least at the crucial moment. He didn't throw us away. The devil slays amusing battle. Sigh a little bit by I said hey. That's right, if you're the boss. Maybe he's turned us into saviors. A long time ago. But look in the good direction. Then aren't we free again? Hear this word. The other 3 demons are screaming for freedom. Who told you to be free? That's right now. The serenade was quietly approaching beside them. Speak up coldly. Hear this word. The evil devil said yes with cold, contemptuous lips. Just rely on your old man to manage us? Who do you think you are, the butler? The cold smile is good. There's no worse thing here. We want to mess with him. Thought then the tears of horror fluttered fingers. Raise a warning. You thought there was only one butler. You can control the blood. If the old man has no way of controlling you, then it's out before the butler's subpoena. Give them back to the old man. The four demons immediately half-heartedly looked at him. God is not afraid of the cold. I don't believe it. Do you want the old man to try it? The four demons saw his hand move. Can't help but shiver. They've been tortured for a long time. Taste enough pain and suffering. I really don't want to take any more. Hurry up and pray for forgiveness. Don't we believe it? Later, we will listen to you. Happy nods to the celestial ceremony. That's what aggressive eye-rolling means. Now follow me to the forest. Close keep the family. The old man also asked the lady to give you the position of elders. If you don't make me scrub my latrines. We want to be elders. We don't want to scrub toilets. The four demons are in a hurry. Hurriedly towards the forest city run away. We finished with the four of them. The prayer is back. Distant gaze looking at the sun lightning. Sigh a little bit. The butler has been with you for a long time. The old man also learned how to borrow foxes. But please rest assured. No matter where you are now. The old man thought he was alive and waiting for him to return. As I said, the sky is spinning. Towards the four demons chasing. There's only one piece of wilderness left. After the storm of death. Inside pink light. The relentless thunder rumbled through the sky. Probably the most impaired blurred vision. There is no blood on the face. Looking back, I saw only one color. It's just a red blob of light that's constantly moving. Most likely, the corners of the mouth screamed with horror. This place is a relic of heaven. I can come in. Glancing at the observation, the only thing I can see around me is gold. There are only bare peaks standing tall. In this place. It doesn't look very good though. But I don't feel seven. It was a relic of heaven. Even if it's a wild piece. There will also be good stuff. Thought. I can't wait to get up and look for a. But the body just moved. It feels like something is pressing on you. Keep your head down. Then Ra is the shrunken neck of the three pines lying on top of her. He quietly fell asleep. Today a moment moves. Three pine neck seems to be affected awake. Slowly open your eyes. Two hands rubbing his head looking a little fascinated. Are you awake? He looked at her like a child who had just woken up. Suddenly with a smile and a nod. Open your mouth and talk to her. But he still hasn't said a word. That's why I fell into his arms and hugged him tight. The body is a little shaky. I'm most likely to see the scene. I can tell you he's scared he'll hit this place. I want to get back in. Why? A little bit of crying and laughing at him. This is the unbeatable wisdom of the three wise men. But the universe heard the name was afraid or not. If you let people know he's still here. The name he created 300 years ago. So far it will decline a lot. I think it's best to laugh for an hour. Then reassure him, we're good to go. Inside this, death cannot hit you temporarily. We were safe. Let me out so I can look around. I can't even hear what he's saying. Still a tight embrace. Why? Bite his teeth and shake his head and say no. I am so afraid of death that I can rest assured. The surgeon shook his head. I'm most likely to sigh, please. You are much stronger than me. 3 pines for a while. Just raise your head now. The two eyes looked at him and whispered. Hugging you is better. You smell like my father. Hugging you makes me feel safe. Your father has a father. Probably the most startling description of the sutra. This word just came out. The three of them let him turn his head away. I think most people feel a little bit guilty and say yes. I didn't mean that. I just feel strange. You are so strong, surely your father is good too. She's a little lonely in the face. Shaking my head. I don't know. From the time of his birth until now. I never met my father. The father I said was my widow, and he was her. There are 2 children in the house. Then I was sent away by the ghost. There's no way to go. He saved me. They are looking for medicine for me every day. Your name was also given by him. Most likely a little surprised people ask the opposite. Neck 3 pine nod. On the face flashed through the warm ray said. Skin neck according to the profession. Many lives in the court. Officials are not too big. It's not very important. But also quite full. After saving me. Let me be the 3rd child. He even taught me to read. I hope I become a reasonable person. That's why they call us the 3. Oh, it turns out, he did pick up the treasure. You are protected. That house didn't get promoted. Blink, promoted to the 1st-class family of the empire. Killed 7 old. Most likely, laughing and cheering. And then she comes right here and sighs. When you show up, AI whispers. It's not that we hurt them. If it wasn't for me, they wouldn't have been killed. Most likely the world is once again stunned. But very quickly, too. At that time this boy was ordered by the ghost to hunt. She adopted him again. It will definitely be in the sights of the Kier people. So the extermination of the tribe is not too surprising. Thought. Most likely, the hand rubbed his head gently comforting. Don't be sad either. Maybe that's also fate. Because of that, you have faced the empire. The 3-year-old is reminded of what happened 300 years ago. Face so fierce but sighed said. It is a pity that later we are still careless. I promised the monster. I can't deal with the 7 families anymore. You can also swallow your words. A child's words don't count. No one blames you. Most probably I don't understand the opposite. And then the neck of the three pine is aggressively shaking its head, in the eyes of a steady response. My father taught me to read. Tell me to be honest. We can't ignore it. Of his teachings. Just because he lost it. I'm sure you can't help but hear this word. A proud germ like this. But he was ruined by such words. It's a shame. But very quickly, he suddenly remembered that he wanted to capture him. So in the blink of an eye I feel lucky. If this boy is taught badly, then with his power, how could he survive? I am most likely to feel lucky in my heart. With a crooked smile. You must listen to the Master's words. He's right. Suddenly I remember something right now. He turned to her 3 times, right? Where did you say I was like my father? 3. I heard you mention it here. Face slightly red. I was embarrassed when you hugged me. Shielding the thunder for me. I see the image when the father protects me. Tell me to run. Most likely, in the end, that's what it is. Then it's thunder for this boy. Just because you want him later. We'll submit to his will. I can't wait to get his heart back. Let him feel like his father. But like this. He could exploit the soft spot in his heart. Think of it with smiling eyes. The left suddenly turned towards the neck and said, 3. I am your father. Except to 180 to sub-meanings. Ancient Three Pines stunned in a moment. Not too resistant either. But Ra's words are a little irritating. You are my father. I am over 300 years old. How ridiculous are you? Most likely, he laughed and said nothing. Not period. You are over 300 years old, but your mind is like a child. You need someone else to protect you. From the beginning I saw you. I already like you very much. Really, she frowned a little in her eyes. Most likely, a small smile for an hour, of course. Of course. On the outside he laughed so gently. But in my heart, I am very happy. Of course I like him. Especially his strange power, he also likes it. I thought then the most. You expect the good boy to come to me. The 3-year-old still seems suspicious. For a while. Even if it's a little heartwarming. But he raised his head and said proudly, what good is it to accept you as my father? Probably the worst. This kid doesn't look stupid. You can ask the opposite. But this word does not speak. Smiling again, I can protect you. I need you to protect me from the cold. Why not need? Probably the most annoying. The form solemnly said. Didn't he have to protect you before? Even though your power is strong, but you are so naive. Being out is easy to fool. You think, if it wasn't for you to believe the monster. I was fooled for 7,000 years. That's how revenge can't be reported. If I'm here, Lao Tzu will expose all the lies. Next to you. With the wisdom of Lao Tzu. Who else in this world can fool you? Neck 3 Pine indiscreet look why. There is still a bit of doubt in my eyes. I saw him swing. Most likely, I decided to continue to convince him. Then he turned to him confidently. Don't you believe? Before that, you seek here and the four hoodlums? They have AI that's not stronger than us. But you're not listening to me. That's wisdom. With wisdom, what? The powerful are controlled by the powerful. Follow me. No one in this world can bully you anymore. The most important thing. It's that you don't have to eat pharmaceutical shit. Okay. As I said, in his hand, there is a sign. Put it back to the neck. You just need to be able to find 8 drugs. I want to let you eat that shit. To show the city. These are the medicinal foods in our world. Really, the medicine I was looking for before is also available. That's how fast. There are only 8 Kier products. You really have to fight. It was hard to find. The third most important thing is whether someone hurt him or not. This is his old obsession. Get this point. Most probably no. No matter what, it is not accepted. That battle is out there. If not, let's not talk about catching him. Just afraid he knows. He died at his hands without a doubt. Most likely, the world has said all the words. Bring the precious thing that she wants the most. To lure him back into his fold. Do not do Y7 Hope Neck 3 Quick Pine Handle. The world has only been fooled. Happy to say I know. I had doubts before. Did you hurt me? But now I believe. When it comes to hiding drugs, you are so honest. It's no different, nothing to hide. See this scene. Probably the most successful of all successful. And right now he's smiling. For an innocent child like this, if you are taken advantage of by bad people, then you can rest assured. So it's better to let him do it first. And yet he is still pleased. Neck 3 Pine again laughing. Tell the truth. I've known about hiding drugs for a long time. You know I'm most definitely stunned. In his eyes flashed TIA did not understand. She laughed for an hour. With a warm smile. To be honest, it doesn't matter if you eat medicine. Waiting for the medicine. It's what people enjoy the most. Like before, she usually goes out for a long time to find the medicine to feed us. So, the mood of every court is waiting for him to return. It's what makes us most happy. Most likely, bite your lips. I don't want to take back the reins. That is how you pay for the medicine. I'll give it to you again in 10 days. Unfortunately, she doesn't want to. Embracing the world only in pout. Give it away and ask for it back. Is there a father like you? The 2 strongest eyes lit up. Excited to speak up. By the way, you have accepted me as your servant. She 3 gently nods her head as if she agrees with the words. 3 Pine Neck for the lost family. Don't say 7. Even the 7-year-old wants to touch it. Strangers also have to think carefully. Thinking of this, I can't help but laugh. This trip of Y harvested to well. Collect the ghost book for demons. I found the relic of God. In the end, he received unbeatable wisdom. 3 years old is worth it. Still being satisfied. Suddenly the body is most definitely wobbling. The lightning still in the body exploded. Do not spit out a large sip of blood. 3 years old saw this scene. I'm afraid to say, what are you doing? Wipe the blood on your face. The most colorful face has a little stop. That's a lot worse than you think. Heaven and hell decide. They can't be completely trained. It's like a chronic poison right now. Moving inside the body, destroying his whole body. Death is one of God's miracles. If you want to unring the bell, find someone to tie the bell. If you can't completely remove it from your body, we have to find the relic of God. Maybe there's a cure inside. Difficulty shaking his head down in pain. Probably the most we can say no sao. Follow me to observe the surrounding situation. See if there's anything strange. Neck 3 Pine meekly nods. The best way to stand up is to speak. Then you can call the little 3. Most likely a small nod. Smiling happily, I can say 3. Go find the way first. Yes, she shouted for an hour. Then excitedly go in front of the road clams. This moment, 3 Pine Neck is like back to the most ordinary track. You just have to have a guard in the back. He was no longer afraid of death. More than 3 hours. You're still the same walking around in the golden sand. I still can't see the end. Most likely, slowly stop frowning deeply. The neck feels like it's moving behind your back. Stop the suspicious or talking face. That's what women do. Probably not in a hurry to answer. Look around with your eyes. A little worried in my eyes. Face color stops talking small 3 Death. Do you feel like we're going around? Not in the original place. Looks like this place is a fantasy. Neck 3 Lens condensation. Rush to the side of the sutra as soon as possible. What a battle. Why did you fall into the illusory? But very quickly, he laughed arrogantly and said, there is no meaning. It's just a little fantasy. You have the right to break it. He just finished saying, his hand is firmly in power. Towards a destination hit 2. But 1 moment later, it's like just one shock. It doesn't have much of an impact. You can't see it. Seeing this scene, the neck of 3 Pine screeched with fear. I'm most likely to see this scene. In my heart constantly pouting. The battle that God. One of the 3 most powerful empires in the ancient world. What is a monster like you? Can you use your raw power to solve it? I think the most likely way is towards the neck. No need to waste your energy anymore. Come here first. So that means. Neck 3 Pine turn head look why. I don't understand, but still listen to the words that come next to you. I can see the devil in front of me. With a deep smile, he said, 3rd son, tell me the truth. You've never really been to this place before. Except 283 ancient animals around the unicorn. Classic 3 throngs. Face full of suspicion or shaking head. Probably the most annoying. In the strange heart say that why I'm afraid of death. Maybe you've never met before. No. Neck 3 ponder for a moment. Shake your head calmly again. This is also the first time I've seen it. But it's very strange. It seems that I was born afraid of that thing. When I heard the thunder, my whole body trembled. It's not like normal thunder. I just hate, not afraid. I am most likely to hear this word unconsciously. Touching the chin, thinking. You can't be born afraid of something. I'm sure this guy has something to do with the death penalty. Think about here. Most probably open your mouth to ask the opposite P3. Death is so bad. Who is your master? I don't have a master. That's 300 years ago. How did you cultivate the heavenly perspective? Carefully pondering for a long time, the last 3 pine shakes his head. On my face a piece of magic says I don't know. Ever since I remembered it. You've been a miracle. There are no relatives or friends. Only you can find the medicine to eat. Probably the most amazing eyes. This little devil's body is getting more and more strange. For a long time, suddenly an unbelievable thought flashed through his mind. Maybe this guy is not a real person. Usually people. It's all through cultivation and spiritual enlightenment. From weak to strong. But there are some species that are born strong enough. For example, animals. That can be turned into human form. It's the ancient beast. If that's really the case, they are not despised by godlike forms. The ant harbors a terrifying existence, Sao. I don't know if that name is there. He hasn't finished thinking. Suddenly, the 3 girls called out for help. Use your nose before. Fall into the illusory. Everything is fake. Only your nose won't fool you. I'll use my nose to find a way out for us. Most probably laughing and shaking his head, refused to comment. He pouted and said, this place is full of sand. If this game has such a big gap, God is not a fool. Lock the door and leave the key. But the 3-year-old didn't notice. The tip of his nose is moving. 2 eyes lit up. Yes, sibling. I smell a familiar smell. Follow me. Probably the most amazing eyes. I can't believe what I'm shouting. There is no resistance either. Let the neck pull away. But it hasn't been long. The 3 channels suddenly stopped. Most likely to look at the 4 sides. I just saw that there was a big rock. Maybe it's the eye. Probably the most obvious feeling. Blood in this place. Doubt or look at her 3 questions. This is the gate you're talking about. That's right. 3 pine also do not hesitate to quickly nod. But the smell of blood in this place is too strong for you. Take a deep breath. Silently feel lucky. Fortunately, this time I have 3 friends with me. If not, even if you can get in here, maybe he will also die. It's only in this fantasy. But right now, again there's a sobbing cry. Most likely, turn around and look back. I just saw 3 pine necks leaning against a big stone pillar. I can't stop crying, tears on my face. It looks a little pitiful. See this scene. Most probably confused, not know what to do. Ask the 3 kids what they do. Neck 3 pine shake head. But I can't stop crying. I said I don't know. I can smell it. I have just come close to feeling sad. Impossibility.